Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key. I'm sorry, but I did not hear you press at least 4 digits of your PIN number. Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye. Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key.
To start your show now, press 1. To hear important...
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
All right. There it is. All right, people, what's up? What's going on? I'm your host, Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. The Tim Black Show is in effect, and it's Friday night, January 6th. It was the 5th, but we waited so long. February 6th. What's going on, people? Glad you can make it. Tonight is Freedom Friday, meaning this is when you get to call up and get to speak truth to power. Now, for those of you who have no truth to speak and who ain't got no power, this ain't your hour. But for everybody else, guys, 319-527-6212 is the number that you dial into to get on the mic. Like to rock the mic, right? For all of y'all and y'all in hell, just to see you smile and enjoy yourself. Okay, so let's go make sure that we're loud and clear on Facebook. Yeah, we did Facebook again tonight. We did Facebook. Facebook's in the house. And we also doing YouTube. So there we go. Let's go check things out on Facebook first this time. Facebook, you guys good? You know, I need my Facebook people to start coming over to YouTube because Facebook no likey. Facebook no likey me. Neither does YouTube really, but you know, it's gonna have to do. What's up, Facebook? How y'all doing? Hey Johnson, Suzanne Gould, and Jackie Denby in the house. What is going on? What's going on, Matthew, Dolores, Adeyemi, Joy, my sister Joy. Good up for Joy. What's up, News Make a Difference by Shine Love. Rita's in the house. Thank you guys for sharing out the show. I appreciate you. Much love to you. Adam's in the house. Umbra's in the house. Corbett's in the house. Corbett's in the house. Uli's in the house. My sister Uli from Penn, Sylvania. Jackie, Nicholas, Tammy, Rashim, Paula, do I have enough moderators? I know I made some changes to the moderation because people kept posting as me. You're supposed to post as you. But I need to give everybody back their rights because, well, you know what? I guess we don't because we're getting off Facebook. They've suspended me for at least 90 days for monetizing any of my product on Facebook. So if you were a business and they said, you can't sell here, you can't get any, you can't do nothing, you can't make no money here, but still give us your stuff so we can make money off of you, what would you do? That's the situation with Facebook. It's horrible. So I guess we don't need to do that right now, right? So anyway, Facebook people, thank you so much. Thank you for being here, guys. It's not your fault. It's the platform. What's up, Kevin? What's up, Paula? How you doing? Bibby's in the house. What's going on, Bibby? What's up, Jen? All good, all good, all good. What up with my people on YouTube? Can you hear on YouTube, guys? Everybody okay on YouTube? Let's see. LB Things, Stuff and More. Kira Thomas, Sign of the Times, moderating. La La Cha Cha. La 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 Cha Cha's in the house. Gira's in the house. We carry signs in the house. David Melford's in the house. Mama Alaska. The matriarch. MG Massey's in the house. Omni Seeds in the house. Here, Eru. Eric's in the house. Brian Crosby's in the house. Shadow President. I got a lot of love on YouTube, man. YouTube and Facebook make me feel good, man. You really do, man. You make me feel like it's all worth it. You know what I'm saying? You're making me feel like it's all worthwhile. Like I got a purpose. I got a purpose. Over 50 and Fabulous in the house. Fantabulous. Not fabulous, Tim. Fantabulous. What up, Cindy? How you doing? R Squared Tony D in the house. PJ, Green Day, and DJ. We got a lot of love in the house, man. This is what's up. That's what's up, y'all. So, guys, all my Wolfpack, Tom Z is in the house. What's up, Tom? Guys, I got some stuff. You know, Freedom Friday. I run through some clips. I make a few quips. And then we run to the mics, to phone lines, because that's what Freedom Friday is all about. I want to thank everybody for staying up late or getting up early in order to join us tonight. Without any more further to do, we're going to get into it, guys. Now, check this out. Now, this show is not brought to you by the DNC or the GOP or the RNC. And, you know, you would think that would be a good thing. You would think that. But people get mad because they're like, Tim, one minute you're down in Trump or the GOP, and the next minute you're down in the Democrats. And I'm like, that's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. See, your mind is all warped because you think just one side is the devil and one side is the angel. You see? But in reality, that's not how it exists. And if you poor, both sides are the devil. Because America don't love poor people. When I say poor, I mean you don't got enough to buy your own jet. Because that's really what we're talking about, right? Come on, guys. Come on, people. Get with it. So like the brain, like our brains have been, so poisoned with this idea that one side is good, the other side is bad. When that's not. Now, in certain circumstances, there may be somebody who's more favorable to what your goals are. In other situations, there may be a different story. But if you watch a show, because this is not cops and robbers, guys. If you watch a news show, and every time you watch the show, you know what side they agree with, and you know what it's going to be before they even start talking, you're watching the wrong stuff. You're watching something very biased because that's not how it happens in life, right? Think about it. Sometimes your wife is right, and sometimes your wife is right. Come on, Tim, don't be a cuck. Now, sometimes I'm right. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? But my wife tried not to let me know that. You know what I'm saying? She just does the right thing and just be like, "What'd you say? I didn't hear you. You said something?" Oh, okay. My wife is smart, man. Mrs. Black, man, she been putting up with me for a long time. She be like, look. So anyway, so back to my point. The point is this: anytime if you're watching a news program and you already know who they're gonna be criticizing before you know the name of the title, you're like, okay, they're gonna be dunking on it. Then look, guys, you're watching the show that's just confirming your biases. It's not challenging you. It's not giving you new information. It's just basically giving you the endings that they think you want. And that would be okay if this was, a fiction movie. If this was a Denzel Washington and Al Pacino film. But we're talking about world events. We're talking about politics, right? So things should be a little bit different in that type of realm, right? Should be a little bit, little bit more, okay, what's going on? What's the issue? How does it impact us? How does it impact the environment? How does it impact the babies, the kids? How does it impact the world overall? Not just how does it impact this party? Okay, enough. Enough, guys, enough. We get it, Tim. We got it 5 minutes ago. Okay, so we're going to talk about a number of things. I got a couple clips. I got a couple... Now, look, here we go, guys. So since this will be quick, I'll do this. Ice Cube was the talk of the town not too long ago when he was talking about sitting down and talking to the president, whoever was in power, about what he called the contract with Black America. And do you realize that there are still people who don't understand what the contract with Black America was even about? They have absolutely no clue. See, social media presents these people. They're called morons. Yeah, they comment on stuff and say, who cares who Cube talks to? Well, Ice Cube didn't come up with the contract with Black America by himself. He had scholars. I had one of them on my show. You don't watch my content to know that Dr. Derek Hamilton, doctor, PhD doctor, writes books, speaks at prestigious schools on important topics. The contract with Black America is not written by Ice Cube, the rapper or producer. It's by a team of people. He's just a person with the platform because he's been in the show business for 30 years. So he's using his platform and his notoriety to get on TV. Because there are a lot of smart people. And I think Q would agree with me, even though I wouldn't know it because he won't talk to me. I don't know what that's about. Hook a brother up, man. You keep going on Boyce Watkins' show. I don't know what that's about. Here's the thing, guys. There are a lot of smart people out there, much smarter than you, I, Boyce Watkins, Cube, Snoop Dogg, all these people, right? Here's the deal. But they don't get media attention. Because media don't want smart people. They want people that are good for ratings. They want people that are safe. They want people that they know they can control. This is what the media wants. You think they want you coming on their show messing up things? So just because a person's smart and has a lot of answers doesn't mean that person's ever going to get platformed. Doesn't mean they'll ever get to speak their truth to power. You know how many great organizations there are doing great things in the world right this second. Right now, at this very moment, there are organizations doing great work, sheltering the homeless, taking care of abused women, taking care of abused children, helping veterans get off the street, helping addicts who are addicted, saving their lives, preventing suicide, doing these things right now, this moment. Scouring neighborhoods, picking up people that are dying in the streets this moment right now. But guess what? Ain't nobody talking about them. No one's covering them. So, my uneducated person needs to know this. When a person like Ice Cube or any other star uses their cachet, they can be very useful because they have a platform. People will listen to them. You have Dave Shapiro say, what would Ja Rule do? He's mocking the fact that people even care what Ja Rule would do. And that's how messed up it is in America. So that's the importance of star power. That's what it means. That's all it means. It doesn't mean that they know the stuff front to back, that they are subject matter expert. They have a passion for it. They're concerned about it. And they can bring in those other people, those subject matter experts. They can bring in the people that have the knowledge, the wealth of understanding, the training, the talent, the ability, well-versed. I try to do it when I present you with Dr. Sandy Durrity, when I present you with Dr. Cornel West. I'm doing the same thing. That's what I'm trying to do. You don't need me to talk to you. You need the professors to talk. So anyway, Ice Cube wanted to be with whoever was going to win the election, anybody, right? To talk about things that the black community needs to stop being so on the bottom of this economic floor in America. And we all know that Donald Trump had his people. Cube never met with Trump. Biggest smear tactic in the world. They had memes of Cube hanging out with Trump. He never met Trump. He didn't hang out with Trump. He met with some people that worked for Biden's administration. He didn't go do a photo op like Kanye. I get pissed off because that's the truth. So anyway, he talked to Trump's people. People got mad. Why would you talk to Trump? Well, if Trump would have won, we would have been stuck with him for 4 years, right? Gotta shoot your shot. He also wanted to talk to Biden. Well, guess what, guys? I'm leading all that up to say Joe Biden. Ice Cube to meet with Biden to discuss the contract with Black America, folks. Give it up for that. There it is. There goes the screen. In the radio show interview, Ice Cube announced he has plans to meet with President Joe Biden to discuss the contract with Black America. I'm happy to hear this. I'm happy to announce that this is going to happen. Now that Biden is officially the president of the United States, the rapper has announced plans to meet with him and his new administration on the Ryan Cameron Uncensored Show. Now, Cube explained on this show program on the Magic ATL radio show that a Biden admin reached out to him. Joe Biden didn't call him up, his admin called him up. And he said something like this, and Cube says, here goes Cube's quote. It says, yeah. Yesterday, they reached out to me. You know what I'm saying? They just reached out. We got to set the meeting. We're starting to figure out when we can have this meeting and how we're going to have it. He explained. He also spoke on bringing the experts with him to hopefully make some concrete progress in the meeting. I would love to bring in the specialists I have and the experts. Yeah. I have to see what we can do to start moving this ball down the field. West Side? So anyway, guys, that's what's going to happen. I'll keep you up to date what happens with developments of the Ice Cube and Joe Biden meet up about contract with Black America. And I'm going to tell you guys, I'm not excited about it. I don't expect much to happen, but I'll update you. Yeah, it's been my experience that the Democrats, similar to the Republicans, but they tend to use black people as ornaments, not so much as policy deciders. But hey, let's cover it. What the hell? Let's give it a shot, Johnson. Next. The House aims to pass COVID relief bill within 2 weeks as the budget reconciliation moves forward. So we all wondering what's going to happen with the stimulus package. What's the deal? We had Joe Biden with his proposal of a $1.9 trillion package. What will be the haps? Well, last night in the wee hours of the morning, the Senate on Friday passed a budget resolution. The House will follow suit in the afternoon, starting the process that will allow Democrats to approve a rescue package with no Republican votes. So that took place. It passed both the House and the Senate. And what it is the reconciliation, which means now we don't, the $1.9 trillion package, the rescue package, that hasn't passed yet. But the reconciliation order did pass. So that's saying that we can go forward with passing the $1.9 trillion stimulus package deal. That's called a good thing. Now, this is the problem I have with all of this, right? Joe Biden spent way too much time talking about bipartisanship and working with the other side. If we cared about the other side being on board, we would have elected the other side as a country, right? What good is putting you in place? What good is all the work that was put into pushing Joe Biden's lost in the mall ass across the finish line for him to just for him to win the thing and then want to share the trophy with the loser? Like, who does that? Look, man, Republicans were in power. They weren't looking to negotiate with Democrats. You know, I don't buy this thing that the Democrats are better people and they're just the higher version of ourselves. They're the moral party. No, I don't think so. I think this is a good job of cat and mouse. It's a good job of good cop, bad cop. One plays the rough, tough. Oh, yeah, listen here, see? The other one was like, listen, man, let me talk to you, man. Look, man, you don't want to get in there with my partner break your legs. Yeah, man, let me at him. Yeah, we're not children. And if we are children, we need to grow up fast and recognize when we're being played. Look, I don't know how to stress this well enough. The Democratic Party, they were elected. They were empowered. The reason why you want the House and the Senate is so that you can get legislation through. The Republican Party already demonstrated that they will curtail, stonewall, block anything that the Democrats do, whether it's good for their constituents or not. You think that Barack Obama didn't have a single solitary good idea after the first 2 years he was in office? They had to have at least one or two. The thing is this, the Republicans weren't going to help him pass any legislation that the House Democrats wanted to get through. So it's a slap in the face for the Democratic Party to pretend that they have to reach across the aisle, that this is the way business should be done. No. Not in the climate that we have, not in where we are. And you should never sacrifice the will of the voters in a fake attempt or a feigned attempt of bipartisanship. That's how I see it. I stand by it. Now back to this. As the party prepares to pass President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion legislation by itself the leaders insist they want to win GOP votes, which is a non-starter. Not a single member of the Republican Party voted for this reconciliation package. Not a single one. Uno nuno. Vice President Kamala Harris that's crazy. Jesus, why would I do the show I saw coughing? Vice President Kamala Harris cast her first tie-breaking vote, which is great, in the 50-50 Senate move ahead with the coronavirus relief package. So this is great stuff, guys. Great. Look, this is what happened. I mean, do what you got to do to get it done. That's all people want to know. I want you to do what you got to do to get it done. I'm hearing different talks about the stimulus packages. There's a Republican version, there's a Democratic version, and according to reports, Americans, when polled, prefer the Democratic version because there's more money in it. Yeah. Contrary to popular belief, conservatives or Republicans or however they identify themselves, they also have bills. They also like to live indoors. They prefer not to live on the streets. So they are also concerned with a relief package that will help them maintain as we through a pandemic. Now, you may be under the delusion that that these people are against these ideas. Like all the conservatives are sitting around yelling, hell no, we don't want no money. We don't want no money. We don't need no money. I don't want no handout. Get that plane away from me. I'd rather starve. Who needs heat? You know, you would think that the way our media covers it, but in reality, you know, as much as they want to pit us against each other, of course there's some issues that we may not agree on, but everybody agrees on living indoors. So this is going to be a good, this is good for everyone. Is the bill good enough? Hell no, it's not good enough. Which takes me back to my point about the good cop, bad cop. Democrats will pretend they wish they could do more, but they can't because X, Y, Z. And yeah, so they give us less. That's what happens. I'll keep you up to date about the stimulus package deal. Expect that to happen within the next 2 weeks, folks. Give it up for that. It's hard to hit the clap button on it, man. It's not, you know, there's no way that we should be having to go through so many hurdles in order to get a measly $1,400 it is. Ridiculous. Okay. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene is the latest Donald Trumpified GOP congressperson to get some attention. I'm on the record saying that Marjorie, the new congressperson from Georgia, is being propped up in order to create somebody that we hate because that's very good for business. My opinion of this, my theory, is based on my experience of covering the news and realizing what works in media. You got to have a boogeyman. And right now, Mitch McConnell ain't getting the job done. No one's interested in Mitch McConnell. So they wanted to get a zanier version, if this is possible, of Sarah Palin. And then they created one. With even less experience of anything. And probably read even less books. Woo! So anyway, Marjorie Taylor, we know they were trying to get her kicked out. Kicked off all her committees, and that happened. She's kicked off her committees. They want to get rid of her. And that's, a lot of people don't understand exactly what's going on with Marjorie. They know this is crazy lady, carrying guns. This crazy lady said a lot of things. You've been watching, if you're watching the cable news, that's pretty much where you stop at. Okay, so for the first time I had an opportunity to hear her say some things. I got a couple clips of her discussing her situation. Okay? So after being ousted from a couple of committees, she's now speaking on the House floor. Here she is, in her flesh and blood, in her own words, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
You only know me by how Media Matters, CNN, MSN. You only know me by how Media Matters, CNN, MSNBC, and the rest of the mainstream media is portraying me. Stumbled across something, and this was at the end of 2017, called QAnon. Well, these posts were mainly about this Russian collusion information. A lot of it was some of what I would see on the news at night, and I got very interested in it. Problem with that is, though, is I was allowed to believe things that weren't true, and I would ask questions about them and talk about them. And that is absolutely what I regret. You see, school shootings are absolutely real. I also want to tell you 9/11 absolutely happened. I remember that day crying all day long watching it on the news. And it's a tragedy for anyone to say it didn't happen. And so that I definitely want to tell you, I do not believe that it's fake.
Yes, you heard that correct. Marjorie Taylor Greene is Alex Jones with a hoo-ha. That's what she is, Johnson. A female version of Alex Jones is in Congress. And she's anti-Semitic and a little racist and a little Looney Tunes, a little sci-fi. Okay? Okay, now she's saying, hey, this is the way I used to think. Well, you got to be bringing up old stuff. I don't think that anymore. You know, of course, I was a flat earther until last year, but since then, you know, I took a look at a globe and a couple of maps, and now I get it, you know. So anyway, my thing is they elected her. People chose this lady. It's crazy. Okay, so she's been booted out of these programs, these committees, right? Because, well, people don't like anti-Semites and bigots and flat earthers and people who think that shootings didn't happen and moon landings didn't happen and nobody wants to work with her. And she's made some comments about executing fellow Congress people. Yeah, a little bit of the unsavory stuff, right? So this is not just she's a Republican. There's a lot of Republicans in Congress. Hell, guys, you realize that we couldn't get not a single member of the Republican Party to vote on the reconciliation bill that would allow us to take this to a vote about the COVID-19, the stimulus package. Not a single one, but 10. At least 10 members of the GOP voted to kick her ass off of committees. That's when you're really bad for business. She's bad for business. Okay, so kicked her off. Okay, so here she is talking after being kicked off the committees, saying some things. Interesting stuff.
You only know me by how Media Matters, CNN. Free speech really matters. And yesterday, when the Democrats and 11 of my Republican colleagues decided to strip me of my committee assignments, Education and Labor and the Budget Committee, you know what they did? They actually stripped my district of their voice. I had the greatest opportunity yesterday, and I'm so grateful for it. I got to say what I had done wrong. And do you know how freeing that is? I'm not kidding. I seriously feel blessed by God because I got to do it on a world stage.
You don't realize how great it is to be embarrassed in front of the world. It's a freeing experience to be mocked and shown to be a complete moron and an idiot on the world stage. It's like those dreams you have when you're naked and everybody else is dressed and you can't walk or talk. You're trying to run, but your legs won't work. It's amazing. I love it. The embarrassment, the humiliation is so fantastic. Give me more of it. Brings me closer to my God. Now, Marjorie may not have a career as a politician. Obviously, let's hope she doesn't have a career as a politician, but she's doing a good job of lying like a politician. Does anyone actually believe this lady's happy to be stripped of her committee assignments? Does anybody believe she's actually overjoyed to be embarrassed and have to say in front of the world, I don't think Sandy Hook happened, and I believe in pizza stuff, and I don't even want to say it to get my channel shut down. No, she doesn't. Doesn't feel good. All right, let's keep going. Fun times, Johnson, fun times.
Free speech really matters. And yesterday, when the Democrat opportunity yesterday, and I'm so grateful for it, I got to say what I had done wrong. And do you know how freeing that is? I'm not kidding. I seriously feel blessed by God because I got to do it on a world stage. I got to say, I said things wrong. I believe things that were wrong.
And you know what? I'm so happy I got to do that. My district is thrilled with me. People are all over the country are thankful and supporting me. And for that, I'm grateful to them. None of us are perfect. I'm fine with being kicked off of my committees because it'd be a waste of my time. You know who I am. I'm a very hard worker, and I'm proud of it. So now I have a lot of free time on my hands, which means I can talk to a whole lot more people. I'm sorry for saying all those things that are wrong and offensive, and I sincerely mean that. And I'm happy to say that. I think it's good to say when we've done something wrong. So yeah, that's easy for me.
Yep. Let's recap, shall we? In posting videos from 2018 and 2019, reviewed by CNN, Green appeared to endorse violence against Democrats, prominent Democrats, including Pelosi. And also, I didn't say everything she did was bad. No, it's not good to say violence. I want Pelosi out. I don't want anything bad to happen to her. Okay, maybe she twists her ankle on the way out the door, but that's about it. You know, she's 85 years old, right? She also suggested that Sandy Hook and Parkland shootings were staged false flag operations. They have since been taken down. So she had videos and posts and all this stuff, right? The move to boot her from the House Education and Labor Committee, as well as the House Budget Committee, came after Republican leaders refused to remove themselves following pressure from Democrats to do so. The vote Thursday forced Republicans to go on the record over Green's conduct. The final vote tally was 230 to 199, with 11 Republicans voting in support of the resolution. Green defended herself in a speech ahead of the Thursday vote, expressed regret over some of the past remarks. That's the first clip I played, which some viewed as doing too little too late. Yeah, at first she was really defiant. She wore the thing, free speech. Free speech. Free speech. So what I said your kids didn't die. Free speech. Free speech. I got to say I was wrong in a public forum. It's so freeing to tell everyone that I'm an idiot. Yeah, it's nothing like it. It's nothing like admitting to the world I know nothing. You know, originally I said that I thought it was a waste of time. That I thought they were giving her some superpowers. See, once you focus on somebody and give them attention, which is what they're doing, you're creating a situation where this person gets bigger and stronger. I mean, if we learn nothing from Trump, we learned that without media attention, there would have been no Trump. Right? So media attention is a very valuable thing, and Marjorie's been given a lot of that, but this is the thing. I do not believe, after listening to her speak, I don't believe that she can capitalize. That people don't want to give Trump credit. Trump knew what he was doing. Marjorie does not. She contradicted herself like 6 times in that speech. She spent the first half complaining about being put off committees, and then when they started asking her questions, she started saying she didn't care she got pulled off those committees. Now, this was in a space of 30 minutes. So I don't think that she will be able to capitalize off the attention. I don't think it's going to make her bigger and stronger. It's going to make her more of an embarrassment. And I think that's why Republicans don't want her around. Because people are going to try to tie, you know how they tie Nancy Pelosi to everyone? Whenever they're running against a Democrat, they try to say, this person said hello to Nancy one time. And use that as a way to raise money against that Democrat. Well, people don't want to be tied to Marjorie either. Marjorie is the Pelosi of the right. Get what I'm saying? They're trying to make her the AOC of the right, but I don't think that's going to work. Because AOC is popular, regardless of what you hear people say on Twitter. She's like pretty popular, like, you know, generally speaking. And a lot of that has to do with media attention. I'm not saying you like her. Not you. I'm talking about overall. Overall. Okay. So we tend to believe that just because we think something and we're the, that everybody thinks like us and everybody doesn't. They're like, some people just say, the one from the Bronx. Shout out to Corey Bush and Jamal Bowman. Give it up for him. Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar. There's more people in the squad. All right, so yeah, we'll keep you up to date on that. So now we get to a fun clip, guys. We're almost done hanging in for the phone calls. Just had several things come up today I thought were good and should be shared with you. Okay, so I've actually talked about this subject before. It's about Van Jones. Today, Van Jones appeared on The View. There was a clip circulating of Van Jones on The View where it looked like Sonny Hostin bodied him. Like body slammed him about for his past dealings with Donald Trump and some things he said about Donald Trump. And even on this show, I've criticized, Van Jones because I felt like, the crocodile tears and a couple of times he's cried to keep his show. I'm like, come on, man, Van, stop crying, man. 1 minute you say Trump, just became presidential because he could say, read a couple sentences without, offending the world. Van Jones would say, hey, he became a president. Right there, he became president. And then the next thing you know, he's like crying, like, I'm glad we're getting rid of him. Biden won, great. Sound like Kevin Hart. So I've been critical of Van Jones in that regard. I got a problem with brothers breaking down like that anyway. Don't give them your tears, man. So, back to this point. So, on The View, Sonny Hostin confronted Van Jones about his ability to move in these spaces, about his ability to make Democrats hate him, then love him, and Republicans love to hate him and hate to love him. And here we go. So anyway, here goes the clip of Van Jones on The View, and watch how Van Jones turns the table on The View and gets the one up.
Now, Van, you do spend a lot of time, threading the middle and trying to unite people. But there are those who really accuse you of being a political opportunist, a chameleon, so to speak, who provided racial cover for former disgraced, twice impeached President Trump. You said this, and I quote, Donald Trump, and I get beat up by liberals every time I say this, but I'm going to keep saying it. He has done good stuff for the black community, opportunity zone stuff, black college stuff. There's a side to Donald Trump that I think he does not get enough credit for. Yet, just recently, you cried on CNN when Joe Biden was elected the 46th president, and you said, it's easier to be a parent now. Character matters now. Truth matters. You even mentioned George Floyd and said a lot of people felt they couldn't breathe. People in the black community don't trust you anymore. What is your response?
Well, I don't think that's true. The entire quote I said.
Now, guys, in the original clip that I saw, they cut it off right there. After Sonny went on her rants and went up one side of Van Jones and down the other, that's where they cut the tape. This is a part of the tape. Most people that were on Twitter, the viral clip that the viral clip that had Van Jones trending, it was cut at this point. So you had to go to YouTube to see the rest of it and listen to the rest of it and see if you still have the same opinion that Sonny bodied Van Jones.
The entire quote I said was that Trump has done a lot of good stuff he doesn't get credit for. And then I went on to say the reason I didn't get credit for it is because he's done all this horrific stuff, said all this horrific stuff, and it completely erases what he's done. But what happens is social media will take the clip, but they won't show the full context. And so what I will say is this. My entire life has been about bringing people together to solve tough problems for people at the very bottom who don't have anything. I've spent 25 years fighting against the prison system. I have helped to close 5 abusive prisons. And by working with Republicans at the local, state, and federal level, and yes, including the Trump administration, I have helped to pass 18 bipartisan bills. We got 14,000 people out of the federal prison system with the First Step Act and more to come. We got 70,000 human beings who were suffering in jails and prisons under COVID, released under compassionate release, working with Republicans and Democrats. Black Lives Matter, math matters too. 80% of Black folks are locked up in states that are run in part or whole by Republicans, red states and purple states. So when you can pass a law, as my team has done, in a Louisiana, in a Georgia, in California, Michigan, red states, blue states, and purple states, to get people home. The people behind bars are not sitting up here worried, saying, get me out of prison, Van, or whatever you do, don't talk to a Republican. They say, get me out of prison. And I am proud of the fact that my team at the Reform Alliance, Dream Corps, and Cut 50 have been able to work with anybody to get folks home. And at a certain point, we got to stop focusing on rhetoric and look at results. People may not like everything I have said on television, but I try to be balanced. But look at what I have done. Who among my critics have been able to get people together to help folks at the bottom? When we fight like this about everything, and you can't give anybody even a little bit of credit for anything, who hurts is not the politicians, it's not the pundits, it's regular folks who don't have anything, people who can't vote because they're in jail. We have to put their interests first. I'm never going to apologize for putting the interests of people at the bottom first. People need champions. Whoever's in that White House, I've got a responsibility to go in there and advocate and try to get people home out of prison. I'm going to keep doing it, whoever's in that White House.
Damn. He did a good job, Johnson. He did a good job there. That was a pretty good job. Pretty good job there, Sonny. Retort. Sonny face like this. In fact, they went to commercial after that. It was just silence. No one talked. And then what's Bette Midler? Not Bette Midler. What's the lady with the big hair with the glasses? Anyway, she said, anything? We'll be right back with a commercial. Joy Behar. So Betty White, so my thing is this. Okay, first of all, he's right and he's wrong. Okay, he's right in all the stuff he said, but he's wrong about those enterprise zones. Enterprise zones don't help black people. Enterprise zones help rich people. Enterprise zones help rich people that got money to spend to dump into business in distressed areas. That doesn't necessarily help. There's no mandate that you have to employ people. You can open up a business, but bring people in. You don't have to actually hire people from the community. There's not enough requirements in the enterprise zones to actually really benefit people the way they should. So that, but Sonny, I don't know, but he kept going. So anyway, but hey, that's the only thing I could really come at, because the rest, like the 5 abusive prisons he said he closed, that he helped close with his organizations, Cut 50. I've had his brother on the show. What's his name? Gosh. Brother from Cut 50 shot himself out to discuss the First Step Act. They were instrumental in helping getting that passed. 18 bills, that's one of the 18 bills. 70,000 COVID compassionate release inmates out free, walking the earth, not in jail, probably on probation, but at least not in the jail cell. 14,000 out of prison. You got to give it up for that. So, and he ended very strong. He said, people behind bars don't care if I talk to Republicans or what I said about Trump. They care if I help get them home. That's what matters. And that should be what matters. But everything has to be politics. And it was like this over and over again. Mrs. Black was telling me that he did a segment he was being questioned by Anna Navarro. And she was bringing up stuff about, Van Jones taking pictures with Trump or with Kushner, and he was basically had to say the same stuff like, hey, I had to work with people to get people out of jail, and that's what I'm going to do. And he's right. There are people that are criticizing him, and I criticize him. who haven't done any of this stuff he's done. He's done, shut down 5 abusive prisons. 5 abusive prisons. That's great work. Okay, so he's right. A lot of his critics have not done this. I didn't know he'd done all this. Holla at your boy, Van. Because I want to help do stuff. Like if I can be instrumental in helping give more of a platform for this type of work, I know that's important stuff. So I'm not saying that Van Jones is right about everything. I'm not saying he doesn't play both sides. I'm saying maybe it's required work if you actually want to get things done, particularly when you have a Republican in office and they also control the Senate, which is what they did. They controlled the Senate, and now we're operating under a different landscape. Now we got Biden in office, which is just a Republican light, but Biden is a Democrat in name, not so much in deed, but we'll see. And now we got to see what's going to happen. So now things are supposed to be different. But now that we got a Democrat in office, what we got Democrats going, we can't do that because we need to be bipartisan. So that's the problem. But shout out to Van Jones on that point. And I'm going to look and see. I'm going to check further into his organizations, Cut 50, Reform, whatever, and Dream. Yeah. Because that's dope. That's dope stuff. Last but not least, guys, we're about to go to phone calls. Before we do, I want to make you laugh. Not me, myself, but this clip. I ran across this clip on Instagram. I hope it doesn't get me in trouble playing this clip, but it's a hilarious clip. It's a clip of what would happen if Ben Shapiro interviewed Joe Biden. You got to see this. You'll thank me.
Now, Van, you do spend a lot of time, threading the middle and trying.
Hey, look who it is, Bennifer Shrimpo. It's me, Jiraco Biden. I hear you're a very talented Trans Am.
Okay, I'm confused. You called the Ben Shapiro show. I'm Ben Shapiro. I don't know who Bennifer Shrimpo is. Also, I'm not a Trans Am. That's a car. I'm a human man.
Darn right you're a man. Who cares what you were born with? And congratulations, I just signed a Mexican order, so you have, a Sexton border. You can play hockey with the girls now.
Okay, I'm sick of explaining this to everyone. I am fully biologically male. I was born with one set of reproductive organs, and they are fully male. Now on to your point about hockey. Not interested.
Look, I need your vote. I got a big erection coming up against a bad dude, Donald Duck. He's got no pants, man. Orange legs.
If you're referring to the election we just had that you won that. And to be clear, it was not against a cartoon duck.
Hey, come on, give me a chance. America needs to heal. That's why we're here. Because blank people are just as fat as white girls. Same as transgenders.
That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
No, I mean that. I was the first college in my family to go to the moon. Look.
Okay, he's falling asleep. There's a lot to unpack here, but before I do, I need to thank our friends at Sherry's Berries. Sherry's Berries. Give the gift of berries dipped in chocolate. It's fun.
Jew hat! Hey.
Oh, man. That's a good, man. Man, shout those guys out. Whoever did that, whoever came up with that one, that's some real Johnson. My family was the first family to ever go to the moon. All right, guys, that's it. We're about to go to phone calls. Come right back after this. This show is brought to you by Cool Streams TV, and I'll see you in about 90 seconds, Johnson.
Cool Streams TV, the best streaming service in the world. With over 2,000 channels. Watch it anywhere on your Android or iPhone. Watch it on your tablet or any Fire device. Premium channels, network channels, pay-per-view sports. Direct access to 24/7 customer service. Go to CoolStreamsTV.com and purchase your subscription. Cool Streams TV. We are the best in the business.
Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't be fooled by corporate media talking heads misleading the people. Get your news and information from an entity that keeps it real. Tim Black. Tim Black is the host of The Tim Black Show. Independent news that leaves you informed, inspired, and sometimes entertained, but always in the know. Go to timblacktv.com and sign up today. The Tim Black Show is news for people who can't stand the news. See you there.
Let me ask you something. Do they know us? When I say they, I mean the talking heads on cable news. Do they know you? I mean, they talk about the world as if it's a sport. They play political games, report on our pain, rack our brain to feed the stock exchange, but do they know us? Do they know what we care about? Nope. They're too far away. They can't see us. They can't feel us. They can't relate to us. See, when you want to know what's going on in your world, trust someone who lives in your world. Subscribe. To become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack, go to patreon.com, Tim Sake Live. Starting at only $5 a month, Johnson. You can become a full-time member of the Tim Black Wolfpack. Try it today. And now, back to the caller portion of the show, Johnsons. That's right. Got some jinjitsu. All right, so let's go to the first call in the queue. It's the 310 number. 310, you're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Tim.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing, my brother?
I'm good, man.
Smooth Easy. How you feeling?
I'm good, Smooth. What's going on, man?
Hey, man, I enjoyed that show yesterday.
That's what's up.
I was glad you did it. And a couple of things. The lady that they just kicked off the committees. Do you remember Al Franklin?
Yes.
Okay. Al Franklin got booted out of office for having his hands up around a lady's titties. Remember that?
Yeah, he did like this, and he was playing when she was asleep. Yeah.
Right. They booted him out. Yeah, they were skydiving. The lady out here also in Santa Clarita, they booted her out. She was a Democrat also. Her husband released pictures of her having an affair with a staff member. They were going through a divorce at that time.
Right.
So don't tell me double standards when it comes to the Republicans and Democrats. This lady is talking about killing folks. Her, what's the guy? Oh, God, dog it. Damn it. Hawley needs to go. All of these people are explicit with Donald Trump. Every last one of them needs to be out of there because they all caused 7 people death in that, I call it a riot, exploration or whatever they was calling. You done stormed our capital for no reason at all, talking about you want to take your country back. These people are out of their ever-loving mind. And if Joe Biden does not stand up for the people that put his butt in office, from this point on, I'm going independent because these Democrats just don't have no backbone whatsoever. We are the majority. We are the majority. We do not have to wait on these Republicans any longer. We need to pass a 2000 EUI or whatever that thing is for people who are out here that have no income. Do you realize people have not had income since last, when was that, March, since last June?
Crazy.
So you're telling me that they're supposed to survive off of $10 a month? They rent, their grocery, their medical, their way of life is supposed to continue on? This is crazy. This is just crazy. So, Tim, whatever I can do to help you organize us to have a bigger voice when it comes to these doggone weak-ass Democrats, I'm with you, my brother. I got my cornbread scooper. I got my ice cream and milk on the sideline. We can do some stuff.
That's what's up.
Tim, just keep doing what you're doing, man, because without your media, people would not hear this. They wouldn't hear this. So I thank you so much for letting me speak my truth. I have a lot more, but other people probably got more interesting things to say. But Tim, I just take my hat off to you, man. You do a hell of a job. And I'm not trying to boast of you or anything like that, but the truth is the truth. You tell the truth, you put it out there, and we either can deal with it or keep moving. That's how you look at it, and I'm with you. So thank you so much.
You got it, Smooth, man. Thank you, man. You're welcome, Smooth. I'm glad you're here, man. What good would it be if you wasn't showing up? You feel what I'm saying? You know, all this work can't be, what good is having a platform where people don't show up to participate? So, man, thank you so much for that. And you're right, man. Like, there's been a lot of argument about how to hold people accountable, but we got to hold people accountable, and we got to make sure that we get our voices heard with the Democrats. I mean, my thing, man, my whole reason for doing this was always to get something for our vote. We got to get something for our vote. We must get something for our vote. And that something is not just to get rid of racist Republicans. We ain't going to eradicate racist Republicans or racist Democrats. We need something more, right? We need policies that impact us economically, because in a capitalistic society and an oligarchy, it's job one is economics. That drives everything else, from what school you live in to how much medical care you get, and we want to change that. But until we do, economics, right? Well, if your air is clean, if your air is not clean, if your water's clean, if your water's not clean, there ain't poison in water in Beverly Hills. So economics, brother, has to be at the forefront of it. All right. 319-527-6212. Maybe people thought tonight was, maybe they thought I wouldn't have phone lines on Friday because I had them on Thursday. They don't know I'm going back to back. But I got a 323 number in the queue. 323, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Yeah, good evening. How are you doing, Mr. Tim Black?
I'm good, family. Who's this?
You all right?
I'm good, man. How are you?
This is John.
John, my brother. What's on your mind, John?
Well, I'm a little bit worried for you because of how YouTube is doing what it does. Might I interest you in looking up Rockfin? ROKFIN. That platform is just a platform, and it's for people like you to get your thing done. It's all fully monetary, and it's a great place to be right now. All the other ones are headed over there as they are demonetizing people, because I don't want you to lose your spot here and have nowhere. I want to make sure I hear you every night that I can. Because there's a lot of things that are in the works that you know about, and some things in the works that I know about that I might want to be able to tell you, sir.
Well, I feel you, John, man. I appreciate you calling up and trying to persuade me, brother. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for putting me up on that.
Yes, sir, because I remember you was telling me about how you was looking up cryptocurrency, I know all about that. I'm a tech head. So I'd like to work with you on that too. And in Rockfin, you could be able to talk to one another more so than you can through YouTube. So, like I said, go to the Rock. Everyone else is going to the Rock. ROKFIN, brother.
All right, family. Give it up for my man John, man. Put me up on game with the Rockfin, man. That's what's up. I feel you, man. You know, Rockfin approached me, man, like a couple years ago. And then I told him, hey, you know, they, how can I say this, brother? They were just starting out, and they hollered at me. And the offer that they made me wasn't, they didn't make me really an offer. I felt like they were undervaluing my platform. And instead, I turned them on to some other people. Some other people went over there. Those people don't even know the reason why Rockfin approached them is that I recommended them. I said, hey, go talk to this person. Talk to that person. So it's kind of funny that those people now take dumps on me, but the reason why they're at Rockfin is because I put a word in for them. But it turns out a lot of people on Rockfin are more, I don't kind of want to rock with them. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that are over there, I don't know. It's like we differ politically in a lot of ways. But I wish them all the best, and we'll see what happens. But now it had to be an opportunity more so for me. And I didn't see it as an opportunity for me. I had one request I made of, and they was like, nah, we can't do that. I'm like, well, guess you can't do it, Johnson. They was like, okay. So that was it. Every once in a while they hit me up and be like, hey, everybody's rocking at the Rockfin. I'm like, yeah, okay. All right. I start feeling like Denzel. I'm like, okay. All right. Okay. You want me to, okay. Fine. I'm gonna go to the next call, guys. Let's see what we got, Johnsons. We have a 347 number in the queue. 347, you're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment? Oh, there you are.
From Harlem.
What's going on, brother?
Timmy, you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on, brother?
Good. Yeah, I was cracking up. You played that skit with Joe Biden, that white supremacist. The dude said, I'm the first family from the moon, from college. That shit was hilarious. What I wanted to say about the Van Jones thing, and I think it's important that we shouldn't just throw people away. And I'm glad you put that piece up because I didn't know he was involved in all other things as well. And I was turned off by the crying and all this type of thing. But it's just important that, you know, sometimes they say you fence it and we don't go full throated on somebody. But clearly he's doing some things. So that's what I got to say, Tim. Thanks for letting me call it.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Well, look, Joe, man, thank you for the phone call, man. And and I could say that I didn't know that about Van Jones either. So that's the thing, man. We gotta have the ability, at least if I'm doing my job right, man. I gotta have the ability to be humble. Right? In fact, today I did some things that were very humbling, you know? And that's because I want to move past some of the negativity that's that I've been kind of enmeshed in for the last couple of years. So I reached out to a couple people and said, hey, let me make a gesture to move us beyond this, where we are. And that's all I'm gonna say. And it felt good to get that, take off those bricks. You know what I'm saying? To take this suit of anger or frustration or bad feelings, negativity, to take it off, man, and put it on a hanger, or put it in a box and, seal it up and get it away. That felt good to do that. And it felt good knowing that this person appreciated it. You know what I'm saying? And even if they didn't, I know I would feel relieved knowing I did what I had to do in order to move beyond it. So similar to Van Jones, man, Van Jones didn't do anything personally to me. And a lot of times when we get upset with people, it's not even about them. It's really about us because that's why we're upset, because it triggered something in us that maybe we don't want to deal with, or something that hits us in a personal way. So with Van Jones, emasculation is a problem. Like I hate seeing brothers get emasculated by the system, by society, by cops, by people who are in powerful positions. And every time I saw Van Jones, have to resort to what I felt was lowering himself, that bothered me. And I also felt he was putting one over on me. I don't like that at all. So that was more about myself. So I'm happy to be proven wrong. If that's the case, I welcome that. Like, there are people that would rather be right and the whole world suffer than to be wrong and the world be in a better place. Because their ego's too big. And I talk about that, and I say, hey, this person's ego's all over off the map. And there people just like, good, I like that. I like when they do that. It's righteous. Nah, it's not righteous when a person's ego gets so big that becomes more important than everything else, even what your intentions should be. So, once again, I'd rather be wrong about Van Jones and be able to eat a humble piece of pie and people be free, and I boast of that and support that, because that's what I'd rather be here to do than make myself look right all the time. So give it up for that, and give it up for Joe. Thank you, fam. I got a 561 number in the queue, 561. It's Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim. How you doing tonight? This is Ty from South Florida.
What's up, Ty? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing all right. I wanted to go back to Tuesday when you did those two stories about the 16-year-old and the 9-year-old girls, that the one was just body slammed and knocked out unconscious, and the other one, she got pepper sprayed with her hands handcuffed behind her back. She couldn't even rub her eyes. She was already in the cop car. Are these cops going to pull out the old number? Well, we felt threatened by the big scary black man. No, these are little girls. I don't know what it's going to take for people to wake up. The cops get to write the reports on things that happen. So even the numbers are skewed. So people like, the guy that in that video that was parodying, or, like the former cop who does the show down here out of South Florida, they can pull these numbers out that do not reflect what's going on in the streets. It's like we're trying to sprinkle Brussels sprout facts while they're getting deep fried pound cake lies shoved down their throat. It's just so hard to have a conversation with anybody about these things that believes the other way and believes that most people I know just kind of believe that they're just stories that don't happen very often to get singled out just because there's so many. And I don't think that's the case at all. There's definitely a problem within the culture. I mean, I used to work with special needs kids, and most of them were, for behavior disorder. And a lot of kids, were, and I was a young man, maybe 19 or 20 while I was doing it for a long time. And that was when I started doing it. But then a lot of these kids were bigger than I was, and they look like grown men, and cops wouldn't know the difference. They wouldn't know just by looking at someone that there's something wrong with these kids. And, I was only provided with maybe, if I'm being generous, 4 days of training out of the year. But you know what? No one ever died. No one ever got choked unconscious. No one ever got slammed to the floor. No one ever had to be pepper sprayed. We never had to call the police on. And this was 4 days training. Maybe one, maybe two young people that don't even naive people that don't even know very much. But we know enough to keep a 9-year-old little girl safe. We know enough not to knock a 16-year-old girl unconscious in the middle of high school. I just don't understand. It's just so frustrating to see this going on and happening. And I just wanted to vent about it. So thank you. I appreciate it.
My brother Ty putting it down, man. Thank you, Ty, for sharing your experience, brother, and also enlightening the world, man. Sometimes it gets very frustrating with those videos because, people don't know this, but every video I put out, I get insights. I get analytics on the video, and I put out videos on topics like that and videos about other issues that are important to me. And I notice I get a message from YouTube saying your subscribers are not watching this video, and they're not watching this usually as long as they normally would. And it's disappointing that people don't gravitate to this. They rather hear me ranking on Marjorie, for instance, or going back and forth with some other YouTuber or some other bullshit. And it's frustrating, That's why it's important to have the right audience and to grow my wolf pack, because I know that some of the people that get my updates are people who have been, who no longer watch the show. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not talking about you guys watching. They send out a portion. Only like 10% of the people subscribed to my show actually get my notifications. Less than 10 actually. So that's a problem. So you need to ring the bell so that you can get notifications on stories like this. But just know this, guys, and I stumbled upon this the other day during the show. Our police system is broke. And when I say it's broke, I understand people say it's working the way it was designed to work. America kills a lot of people. Our law enforcement kills a lot of people. It kills white people too. America doesn't just lock up more black people than any other country. They lock up more white people too. America doesn't kill more black civilians than any other westernized country. It kills more white civilians than any other westernized country. So the problem cuts across. The issue is, are we going to stand up and say that we need to change this system? And are we going to change the culture of policing in America? What's it going to take? I think it's going to take some rich kids to be caught up. It's going to take some rich white guys to get George Floyded. And I hate to say that. It's going to take some rich white women to get Breonna Tailored. Because that's when things will change. And I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to offend you and piss you off, but you got to hear the truth, man, because that's what it takes. Obviously. So people don't have the ability to go, see, something's wrong. I mean, even our kids are not seen as human beings enough that people could go, oh, we got to change this. You see what they did to this child? Somewhere in the back, in the recesses of people's mind, they're thinking the kid deserved it. Just like they do with George Floyd or Breonna Taylor or what have you. So it's going to take it to happen. And it does happen. But then when it does happen to white kids, they don't report it. So even when it does happen, we have to report it, and then it has to hit mainstream and go viral, and then we'll get change. Guys, I feel like most of the problems that we have in this society, brought to light, that's what can help them, and that's through media. And that's why a lot of people don't understand my main beef is media, not who's in Congress and what did the Congress person do. It's about media, because our media provides the pressure. Once upon a time, journalists exposed corruption. We didn't think politicians had to expose corruption. That's what journalists were supposed to do. That's what I got gravitated to when I was in my teens. That's why I wanted to be a journalist. I've been writing since I was 12. So that's how I always looked at it. And through journalism, unflinching, real journalism, can we expose these problems. Anyway, Ty, thank you so much for that, man. I appreciate it. I'm going to next call, man. Get off the soapbox. You guys make me want to talk, man. I'm going to go to 860, you're live. Freedom Friday, what's your name? What's your comment?
What's up? This is Raymond from Connecticut. What up, Johnson?
What's up, Raymond? What's going on, Johnson?
So I'm just calling. Not much, man. Just calling about all this bullshit I'm hearing about the Democratic and the Republican Party. They both racist as shit, man. We got to realize that there's no middle class, man. It's poverty and rich. It's rich against us all, man. Just like you said, there's a lot of white people getting killed by the cops too, but they don't post that because they want race wars. They want all that. They want us to be against each other. They don't want us to stand up for each other, man. And at the end of the day, We got to remember the Democratic Party can claim all this non-racist shit, but what Klan back in the day with the mass incarcerations on black people? What about his little vice president over there? What about her? What about all these Republicans? All of them, they all racist. Even the blacks in the Senate and the parties are racist. They racist against their own kind. It's crazy. We the people is supposed to stand up together, but the news, like you say in the mainstream media, is putting us all against each other because that's what they want. They don't want us to stand up because you know what? Just like GME, when the stock market went, when people stand up together, shit happens. When we all against each other, nothing happens. So here we are, looking like idiots, waking up in the morning, looking in the mirror, like fuck this guy, fuck this Republican, fuck this Democrat. But at the end of the day, it's really fuck you. It ain't nothing about the government. The government sticks together. They all on the same team. We know that. Come on, if you was born in the hood and grew up in the hood, you know what it is. You know what time it is. They not with us. They not for us. They against us. They been against us. If you ain't got money, you ain't with them. Point blank, period. That's all I got to say, Tim.
Wow, brother, you put it down, though, man, and you know you're right. And, you know, here's the thing. There are some people who think that the government's formed because it consists of a lot of white people, and they're white people. So they wrongly believe that the government works for them. You know, they're fooled by that. You know, man, look, man, race has done a number on all of us. Racism has done a number on all of us. It's not, people have this misconception that race only impacts black people. It's just we're the most obviously negatively impacted by racism. But white people are impacted too by it because they get a false sense of security that they're being treated well. And then what happens when you get an Ern Brockovich that exposes that this company run by white guys is dumping toxic material into a lake, giving all these white people in these small towns cancer for the last 30 years. And these white people have a false sense of security because they white, the company's white. It's a bunch of white people that they wouldn't do that to us. And meanwhile, that's exactly what they're doing. Get what I'm saying? So racism has screwed us all up, man. The whole thing. It got white people thinking that white people got their back, which is a damn lie. Anybody kill more white people than white people. You get what I'm saying? Ain't nobody kill more white people than white people. Period. You can't make that claim about black people. So racism is being used, and then there's classism, and people try to make everything about class. Yes, I get your point that class plays a part, race plays a part, it all plays a part. Okay? But let's not be reductionist in this. The bottom line is that we're all being played, okay? That doesn't mean that racism doesn't exist. That doesn't mean that classism doesn't exist. Gotta be clear on that. But people are so the same way they use it against us. So they'll give us a Kamala Harris and they want us to overlook her record because she's a black woman, because she's brown on the outside, and people want to overlook her record. And they don't even want to look at what she's done. As a prosecutor, that's her life's work. There are a lot of things to do with a law degree that you don't have to lock up people and throw away the key. She wanted to lock people up longer than their terms, Johnson. She wanted to keep innocent people in jail. And we got black people who are so impacted by racism, who want to see a black woman succeed so badly, they were willing to overlook that. And if you call attention to it, they said you are a sellout. Because it's more important that she succeed that she be held accountable for other black people, poor black people, that she wrongly convicted or wrongly punished. And that makes no sense. But the disease of racism has made it make sense because we all are damaged in a way, and that's where we are. Get what I'm saying? So we all need to get beyond it. I appreciate you, Raymond, for calling up, giving me the opportunity to expand on the point that you brought up today. And that's the beauty of this platform. Hey, man, I'm not here to go on the soapbox on everything, but damn it, some things just hit such a certain way, man. You guys hit it with magic, man. You guys do it. Feel me? All right. I got another call in the queue. I got a 409 number. 409. Thanks for holding. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello.
What up?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing now?
What's happening, Johnson?
I'm good, Johnson. What's going on?
Man, chilling, man. It's your boy Gator, man, dude, from Port Arthur, bro.
What's up, Gabe?
Man, just chilling, buddy. I was gonna call up last time. I was a little bit on my kumbaya shit, you know. Call with positive vibes and this and that, you know. And here about just a few weeks of this little half a bowl of shit we got to deal with, you know. I'm starting to see, you know, this. It's the same old rotation, man. A buddy, somebody I seen put a meme up the other day. Well, you know, all the when you custom on a game, change your skin, you know. And it's basically we get the same thing with every politician, bro. You know, seems like it's something we just have to deal with. But you know, you just keep fighting through it, you know, stand together as a people, you know. And I appreciate what you do, man. And yeah, hopefully the show just keeps on going, man. And we start to get a little bit more good news than bad news, bro. But I just want to call up and wish everybody, you know, saying the best of wishes, and you know, saying hopefully we get the snowball rolling in the right direction eventually.
That's what's up, Gator, man. I appreciate
and with that,
it, man.
I'm out, Johnson.
You know it, brother. You know it.
Y'all take it easy, boss man.
You got it too, G. Give it up for my caller, Gator, man. Yeah, it's I want to give us more good news. You know what I'm saying? I really do. That's why I wanted to play the little clip that, you know, with a little giggle, but Joe Biden and Ben Shapiro, and if there's good news to report, I'll report it. Like, okay, so, but what I don't like is when they throw us crumbs. And then I got corporate media doing tap dances and flips and somersaults. What's the young gymnast's name? They're doing moves like her. The new gymnast, not Dominique Dawes. The new Dominique Dawes. I'm sorry, Dominique. I know you're still Dominique. I'm sorry. But you know, the sister was doing they doing moves like her over like the basics that Joe Biden is doing. Joe Biden is exactly trailblazing with progressive policies. So I want to feel good about these things, but I got to keep it 100 and say, hey, we have to demand so much more. We have to, because if we just accept they'll do the least amount, they will absolutely do the least amount for us in order to get our vote. So I have to be a voice going, no, we need more than that. I have to negotiate from a position of strength and say, no, we need more than that. This is unacceptable. Somebody's got to say it. What, you think Van Jones is going to say it? No diss, but come on, man. It's for the people on the outside who are not getting a check, whose lives and livelihoods and the livelihoods of everybody in their family. Let's keep it real. Because most of the time, we got somebody like Van Jones or Joy Reid or somebody coming from, I don't know, Dr. Jason Johnson. These folks, they're probably the most successful people in their families. And I don't mean no disrespect, but if you're coming from black people, particularly, disenfranchised, historically disenfranchised in this country, more likely than not, they are the lead person in their family that everybody looks to. So they're financially strapped. So who could call it out? Who could call out the nonsense of the people that are not attached to the system, whose livelihoods don't depend on it? Of course, my living is much more modest, but at least it's not dependent on a salary or a check from MSNBC or CNN. So it's my job to stand up on the outside and say the right things. What I hope and what I like to believe is that even though they can't come out publicly and support what I'm doing, they can't come out publicly and support the truth tellers like Nina Turner, Cori Bush, or Jamal Bowman, and name some other truth tellers, you know? But in their hearts of hearts, privately, they root for us. That's what I like to believe, guys. I like to believe that. I could be wrong, but I want to believe that. Because that's what that's something that keeps me going, man. That keeps me going. Goodness gracious, Johnson. What is going on with YouTube? YouTube, you guys okay? It keeps saying that it's not getting enough power. Well, it's kind of a slow night, guys. Hey, look, I'm very much happy. I had phone lines open yesterday, so I could tip on out the door if people don't want to call up. I get it, you know. We had phone lines yesterday. People don't want to call up back to back. Let me go ahead and knock out some of these super chats, Because we usually keep that till last, and now people don't have to wait all night for me to read their super chats. How about that? Tony DeMaio, I want to thank Tony DeMaio and Shirley Hughes for supporting the show, as well as Roger Meadows. Roger Meadows says, cool hat. Yeah, man, I don't like wearing them back to back, but I had this for a minute. And I was like, man, I don't know if I want to rock these hats on the show. I used to, you know. But my brother Marcus over there with the clickbait, Marcus for America, he be rocking his hats. And oh, Marcus, man, what's up, Marcus? See, me and Marcus, man, we know we got similar tastes in hats, right? So we rock, you know, different types of hats, what have you. Haberdashery. Haberdashery is a hemoglobin. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the man Tony Baker, right? Man, I'm telling you, man, there's some people, brother. I'm laughing, man. There's some brothers on Instagram who I'm so glad. Look, there's some great things that have come about because of social media, man. There's a number of comedians that I feel are legitimately funny, man, very funny, that I wouldn't be able to get the opportunity to get exposed to without the use of social media, man. So like Tony Baker's one of them. That brother Davis is another one. Comedian Shula is another one. These brothers are funny, man. You know, so it's dope. It's dope. So anyway, I'm up here quoting them in the show. I gotta give them a shout out. Of course, one of my favorite comedians up and coming is comedian Godfrey. And I know he ain't up and coming. I know he's been around for 15, 20 years. But still, that's my dude. Give it up for comedian Godfrey. And I say all this because these are people I listen to. You know, these are funny people. Of course, we got the Bill Burrs and Dave Chappelle's, all that stuff, but I want to shout out other folks. So anyway, back to my point. Back to the super chat. Love your show, Tim. Don't stop, can't stop. Thank you. Thank you for that. I love that, man. Thank you, Johnson. Can't stop, won't stop. Nisi Moby said journalism used to be the 5 W's. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. That's it, man. That's it. Now, MS Media is about how deep can I condition your minds with lies. I work for a small newspaper. See, that was the thing, man. It was a newspaper, a literal paper newspaper that you held in your hand. It's in D.C., right? The Capitol Spotlight. And I had a column. And my editor's name was Mr. Green. And, man, he hired me, man. I'm telling you, man, I sent out all these articles looking for a job, trying to do some freelance work, trying. I mean, I must have tried for a year. And finally, one day, I never forget, I was coming in. Me and Mrs. Black, we were living in a place called Landover, Maryland, over by the 25-hour store, which ain't really a 7-Eleven. It was open 25 hours, literally 25 hours a day. You do the math. It's 24 hours in a day. It was open 25 hours. And anyway, so we're putting groceries in the sink. And this was so long ago that we had a real answer machine, the kind that you sit on your table and you got to push a button and it play. So I pushed the button and this rewinding. It's about to play the messages. I'm putting the food away, and then comes Leonard Green, my editor, my soon-to-be editor, and he says, "Hey, Mr. Black. My name is Leonard Green from the Capitol Spotlight. We got your article. I'm looking at your article. I love your article, man. I want to talk to you. I think you're an up-and-coming young brother. I would love to have you work with our news." Man, I dropped the milk and the eggs, man. I dropped the milk and the eggs on the ground, man, on the floor. I said, "Baby," I grabbed Mrs. Black, gave her a hug. She's like, "Come here, you broke all the eggs." I said, "I'm going to buy some more eggs, woman. F them eggs. I got a job, right?" So I got the eggs up. That was the store. But I wrote for that. So I know a lot. I know a lot about the 5 W's and the H, right? And but real quick about that. He sent me to press conferences. Dope thing, man. Dope to be with a press pass and be able to go listen and take notes and stuff. But he never made me phone in like if I felt like they weren't giving me the information I needed, he would let me pass on the story. Like if I felt like, oh man, this is basically a press release. These people ain't giving me nothing. I'm not getting enough information to really do an article on it. He'd be like, don't cover it. We don't have to cover it. So he was not into that fluff piece bullshit. Not at all. Shout out to Liddy Green, man. Gave a young brother a chance. All right, so now, everything says Dobbs canceled. Yes. I was going to cover that. But you know, Dobbs getting canceled, part of his cancellation is his ass is getting sued. And not just him, but Fox News is getting sued. So, because he was one of those people floating the conspiracy that the elections were rigged. At least that's what the allegations are. So the people that made the machines, and I could be getting some of this wrong because I didn't read too much into it, just like the surface of the story. But from what I understand, it's a lawsuit by an organization that handles our elections or handled a portion of our elections, and they're suing these people who were questioning and who were defaming them by saying the elections were rigged and things were done with impropriety, what have you. And Dobbs is one of the people named in the lawsuit. And it's my understanding, it's like millions of dollars, right? And since he was working for Fox News at the time, they may be liable. Is that how that works? So, Kira says these Republicans shouldn't be allowed anywhere near any committees. Harley, Cruz, Cheney should all be removed like Steve King. Yeah. Damn right. Yeah, Steve King, that guy, flaming. It's a slap in the face. But he should be, it's people like that make you question what it is we're actually doing. Politics will just make you pissed off. Have you walking around all day, every day, pissed off. If you when you pay attention to it, I mean, I know you guys already know this, but I'm just saying, the stuff that people get away with, it's horrendous. So, yeah. Garrett said $5,000 a month checks and $25 an hour. Minimum wage, make them negotiate. There you go. Make them negotiate. So we should talk about this minimum wage. It's $15 an hour. What's up, Pam Hall? Thank you, Pam. What up, Pam? Because I heard some people talking about the minimum wage, and they're like, okay, we want $15 an hour, and now we're talking about, well, it's not going to be $15 an hour out the gate. It's going to be $15 an hour in an increase, right? And you know what? I never really focused on the incrementalism of the $15 an hour. Now, for instance, take the produce, the Bronx produce folks that went on strike, who ended up with a favorable resolution to the strike. Remember that? Remember I covered that? They got their raise, but it's over time. It's like the first year they get $1. The second year, it's a certain amount. The second year, the third year, and it's in steps. But I'm gonna be honest, guys. I never really considered how would a national, federal, or federal minimum wage increase, what that would look like, and how would it be implemented. So some people are upset because they're like, yo, we want to go straight to 15. And don't get me wrong, I understand that. But you realize that there are some states where the minimum wage is $7. And in their economy, to go to 15 is $8. And really, man, some people don't really... Some of us, I don't think we really understand how different we are, a country, state by state, right? State by state, it's a very different country. There's some places in America, if you make $15 an hour, you can't live anywhere. And then there's other places, if you make $15 an hour, you're good. So all I'm saying is there's a disconnection between, first, certain places in the country, it needs to be $25 an hour. What's that figure that, I know somebody knows the figure it should be if it kept up with the rate of inflation. And the problem is, if it takes 3 years to phase this up to $15 an hour, we'll be so far behind, it's still like we should be at 29 or some crazy number, right? So all I'm saying is we have not kept up with the rate of inflation. And that's horrible in itself, the way that they've been screwing workers over here. So that's the real deal. And of course, at the end of the day, some people just want to blame one person. And you know his name? Bernie Sanders. It's like every time I turn around, it's like one guy gets blamed. It's like two names. Two names. It's like they gets blamed for everything. So I don't know what it is, right? That we're expecting one person to do about it. But collectively, we do have to do something. And I really need to look into it because honestly, guys, once again, I never really thought about, like you, I was just thinking $15 an hour. I didn't think about all these little details like, well, what if I lived in Mississippi? What if I had a business in Mississippi? Right? As in, the cost of living is different, and what I'm able to create or make is probably different too. You know what I'm saying? Well, it could be different. But if you deal in your industry is national or international, then that doesn't matter where you live. But for local retailers, local businesses that service that state, those local communities, then it matters, right? So anyway, guys, just stuff. I just thought I'd bring it up because I saw it just before the show started. And I said, okay, this is a topic, but it's a topic that I have to get a little bit more information on. I got a caller in the queue. Let me get a caller in the queue in. See what's going on. So look, we're going to cover that more in depth. We'll get more both sides of that issue about the minimum wage increase and what people are upset about, what people have questions about, and what's going on with that. Because I think that's a very important story, and that's very important for my audience. But I just noticed it before going live, and I'm like, wow, these are things I hadn't considered because in my mind, reflexively, I'm thinking $15 an hour bare minimum. And that is saying, well, no, first year this, second year this, third year this. And people are upset about it. And of course, they will be upset about it. People want some wins. Right? Right. Shit, I make a lot less than minimum wage. I know exactly what y'all talking about. I don't know, man. Some weeks, man, some weeks I know I put in 80 hours a week. Okay, I got a 371 number in the queue, 371, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim, this is Dallas over here in Riga, Latvia.
Dallas, what's up, brother? How you
okay?
doing? Yeah, man, what's up, man?
Good, man. Good. Keep up good work. I just wanted to say, man, I feel like as progressives, we need a little bit of an upgrade on a lot of things for 2021 going into the future, So, this is a minefield out here for people like me. So there's a whole lot of things I can't really comment on. There's a lot of things that I don't even know what I can comment on because I'm over here, overseas and stuff like that. But, so the first thing is we need to be able to have the idea to be able to move some of these things around, some of these ideas around. So when we push it for $15 an hour, maybe we should look at 15% of the profits that we're bringing in on a business for that hour. An example would be with the cryptocurrency stuff. We're looking at when Bitcoin was just $1, and that would be 15 cents if you had 15% of that. But now if you had 15% of a Bitcoin, it would be 15% of $37,000. You see what I'm saying? So this stuff is like exponentially growing. And the way the economy works, it's like everything has these phases where it's getting more and more resilient. So that's why you see Amazon grow to the way it has, is because it's becoming more and more resilient to be able to survive calamity and survive, like, you know, like basically like prepping, like the preppers out there. So if a prepper is out there prepping for the end of the world, you know, it might not ever be the end of the world for them because they're just preparing all the time, you know. So it's like, it's kind of like that on a bigger scale. But like, so things like the cryptocurrency stuff, we're looking at this Ethereum, and if it wouldn't take anything for like 500 people to get together, borrow $1 million, get all of those Ethereums and sit on it, and then wait until those things go up, and then pay that $1 million back, and then you've got the bulk of that money that has grown over that, you know, 2-3 year period or whatever, and then you can use that for community projects and to be stakeholders in this thing, so that we're the ones that are, you know, like the thing that Harriet Tubman represents on that money. It represents who's in control of that central bank, and you want to make sure that like all of that stuff is going and working in your favor, and like, you know, we want to be able to have the good credit scores so that when the game goes digital, you can play that game and we can see it, right? You can start to see it with the stock market and the way some of these things are starting to shape out. Man, I mean, you know, I got too much to say, Tim. And so I just want to say much love. I'm glad all this anti-racist stuff is finally getting to the surface, and the whole world is seeing those crazy people in Georgia I've been having to deal with my whole life. And I just want to say much love. We're going to keep on working on it, and until, you know, we win this fight.
That's right, Dallas. Well, thank you for the phone call, T. I appreciate it, man. Good to hear from you. And yeah, man, if we could put together, if we could pool our money as a community and make investments that will help us to bridge the gap, or able to create sustainable collective projects, for instance. That's the thing, man. Like, for instance, people are like, Tim, the censorship thing is so horrible, you know, and it started because they silenced Trump. I'm like, well, you can't silence a rich guy because he'll just go make his own platform, and he's got a built-in audience, so you can't. No, they silence us. They don't silence Trump because he can't post on Instagram. You know, he can just if Trump's out of the news, it's because he chooses to be out of the news. Period. He got a press conference tomorrow. They're going to show up, Johnson. So what I'm saying is, if we have the resources to create media, because once again, this is media, TBTV, TTL Media is the name of my corporation, but the problem is, guys, do you have resources? Resources give us the ability not to need social media. So you can create a media entity, but do you have the resources that you're self-reliant, not dependent on other corporations that now control your fate to a certain extent? And if that answer is no, then you got a lot of work to do. Yep. Guys, remind me to talk about that issue in Pennsylvania with the snow. We got to talk about that. I will not show that video, but we got to talk about that situation. Horrific situation. 310. You're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Big Pimpin', what's up with your hat? Go ahead on, brother.
What up, smart sister in the house?
It's the girl, smart sister.
What's happening, Elon? What's going on?
Oh, honey. Oh, my God. I understand what people are saying. You know, believe it or not, Brother Tim, I have an MBA, so a smart sister really is a smart sister. But what people have to realize, I think, is that people gonna always change the rules in terms of financially. I'm just gonna talk about that for a second. What they did, the Reddit group, and the whole stock market was good, and it shows you that it's not a perfect system and it can be manipulated. However, you saw them talking about regulation and that they changed the rules so quick. Anything you do, you're going to have to do it quick, get in, get out, and move on, because they're going to always try to stop you. That's how all this money is being made. They creating crap like derivatives and all this mess that's just convoluted. So my thing is, me, I'm always about separation. I think Bob Johnson, they used to own BET or somebody, they're starting a black stock exchange because a lot of black companies can't meet the criteria needed to get on a regular stock exchange. So they're going to start another one. See, that's my point. The little man, you the little man because they want you to be the little man, and not to say that you can't use your brain and resources and do things, because they are not God and they don't know everything. However, they gonna always flip the script. And as black people, we already know every time you're trying to compete and trying to do this and try to flip the script, so then you behind the 8 ball again. And that's what we've got to start learning to do as a people. And then if progressives want to move forward as well, you can't keep playing the same game. You got to come with your own game, because they're going to always change shit that you behind the 8 ball again and have to start all over. How many times have we seen that happen? You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
So it's about flipping a script and coming up with your own stuff. Just even with Black History Month, and Lord knows I love Black History Month, and I want to see us learn more about who we are as a people. But even within that mindset, you got to think, oh, I got to get out here and reach back and learn so I can let you know how great I am. You don't have to do that. If you already know who you are, and we do need to learn who we are. It's not from the mindset like I got to prove something. We already great. We're already brilliant. It's already a known fact. And obviously, white folks know how great we are, racist white folks I'm talking about right now, because they wouldn't try so hard to keep you down. And you see, even though they have flipped the script a million times, they still ain't stopped nothing. Black people still creating. Black people still coming. Black people still got the juice. So that's the mindset I'm talking about with everybody. If you already figure out that you got another game and you going to do something, you do that and make them have to flip the script to keep up with you. That is the key to us being successful, because if you still playing their game, you'll never win.
There it is.
That's all I got tonight.
Man, you don't know how...
Whoop, there it is.
Whoop, there it is. You don't know how on point that is. I'm living that right now, Johnson. Smart sister, I'm living that right now, sister. You just don't know how on point you are. That right there encapsulates exactly the changes that I've been making in my content and the way I'm moving, what I'm doing, my affiliations, all of it, because I realized that I was going the direction I was going, though I got great support. I got the 10 Black Wolf Pack. I got all the Johnsons. I mean, come on, guys. We got something unique. We got a great call-in show, but it's not set up for me to win in this lane, not in this way. So I had to flip the script, like Smart Sister said. I don't have an MBA, but I got a doctorate in being black and being from the school of hard knocks. And I know that. You know what I'm saying? I know that. So we'll work for David Pakman, ain't gonna work for Tim Black. We'll work for Jank Nugent, ain't gonna work for Tim Black. That's what they don't tell you. That book ain't written for you. You got a different book. And what worked for Tim Black may not work for Small Sister. See what I'm saying? So that's the thing. And anyway, I'm gonna go next call, man. I appreciate you, Small Sister. She said, shit, NBA. Look, I'm about to hit you up. I might need some financial advice, my sister. I got a couple moves I need to make. 512, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment, 512?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, this is Sophia from Austin. I just needed to vent about my least favorite person, Jim Crow Joe. You see, I predicted this. I called this 100% months and months and months ago, and I said, we need to go out and we need to protest him. We need to go out and we need to protest him. He's not going to do anything that we tell him at the end of the day because he's going to do what he wants to do, and we're not going to be able to stop him. And that's what he's doing. I said
90
he was
seconds.
going to be an Iran hawk. There he goes. I said he was going to be a hawk when it came to Latin America. There he goes. It's like, this dude is very, very predictable. And something gross that I figured out is that I don't know if you remember me telling you about him, advocating and pushing these crop eradication policies in the 80s that, involved spraying
60
herbicides
seconds.
on crops and also the drugs, which was poisoning people. I don't know if you remember me saying that, but I looked at a hearing from 1979, and he was told back then that it was poisonous. It was already kind of a consensus that it was kind of a frowned upon practice, but he sure pushed on nonetheless. And to me, it really looked like he would walk people or coach them to say what he wanted them to say or what he wanted to hear. And he would try to guide them and say, oh, well, we need more proof in this area. It's like, I believe the same thing, but we need to get that proof because it's not going to be good enough to get past the American people, or it's not going to be good enough to get past, our colleagues. And so it's like he kept playing dumb, like each, even multiple times throughout the same year at different hearings. He would pretend like he didn't know what he was talking about or that he didn't know the answer that the person who was speaking at the hearing was going to give him. So this dude, I think maybe he's so forgetful because he has lied so many times in his life that he can't even keep up with what's real. I mean, who knows? Oh, maybe they told him about the aliens and they had to erase his memory. I mean, if the Democrats want to go there, maybe we can make up that excuse and they won't say we're wrong for saying that he's got a little bit of a mental delay right now. But I honestly have just been like completely exasperated with this dude. I mean, he really has gotten away with so much. I mean, in retrospect, what he has done as far as foreign policy is he is worse than Cheney. Like, he has literally done more damage to this country and around the world than Cheney. And, I want to give Hillary this, that, maybe it's a little bit sexist that she gets all the heat for her foreign policy choices, but, Biden's over here walking around like, got Mr. Kool-Aid smile on my face, let me say some racist-ass shit and totally get away with it. Let me call this black reporter a crackhead. I mean, how did he get away? How did he get away with that? I mean, we could have yanked him back then. I guess I had to rant about that, Tim. Sorry. It's Black History Month has me very sensitive on this subject. But actually, I kind of wanted to hit on this colorism thing because I feel like a lot of people try to deny its existence. But, I mean, no, it seriously boils down to physical appearance. when it comes to these racists, when it comes to these racist institutions, especially here in the South. I wouldn't be where I am today if my dad had like 10% more black DNA in him. That's really how shallow it goes. And the fact that his mother hid his ancestry from their family for so long as a point of, defending them and, not wanting them to be targeted. And black people can't get away with that. If you are 100% black, you cannot get away with that. That wasn't going to happen. And it's like you have to assimilate as it is. If black people assimilate, they never know. Just, 1 second, they could have these racists snickering behind them, ready to pounce. And they had gotten baited, because that's what I feel like some people don't understand, these racists. They don't come from the South or something like that, because I do not understand. Like, to me, I don't know if you are familiar with this, but the people I know, some of them, they want to get rid of blacks because they say that, they're really hard to deal with when they get big. They cause a lot of trouble when they get big. Like, they use this type of language. These Boogaloo boys, they use this type of language. This is their parent. This is the environment they grew up in. Like, they may play that they're not being racist, that they support Black Lives Matter and stuff, while, behind everyone else, they're over there snickering and laughing and, just talking about what they could do or what they're going to do. It just blows my mind. And I'm glad a lot of people are speaking up on this subject, because I feel like black people shouldn't have to, like, talk. They shouldn't have to advocate for themselves constantly. I mean, enough has happened. Why do we put all of this on top of black people to solve all of these problems whenever, the institution of white supremacy is behind it all? And I mean, that gets even other minorities, and that turns other minorities against other minorities, and especially black people. And I just wish that we would break apart from that. And that's what I feel like these people, I wouldn't say they're like race reductionists, but I just feel like they don't understand that there really is a problem still that needs to be seriously addressed, and it needs to be taken care of. It doesn't need to be mocked or brushed away. And so I guess that's what I wanted to say for now. So thanks for letting me talk, Tim, and thanks for staying up late with all of us.
All right, Sophia, thank you for the phone call. Oof. Wow. That's a lot of stuff. I don't even know how to respond to that. It's gracious, man. How can I say this? I questioned some things and didn't turn out so well. But I'm not, I've learned my lesson. I'm not going to, it doesn't have to turn out well. Here's the deal, right? If I feel a certain way about a certain thing, if I choose to speak on it, I'm going to speak on it, and that's it. It's not about winning people over to how I feel. It's not about changing everyone's opinion of it. It's just that, sort of like you do when you call up the show. You call up to the show, you speak your point, you have the floor, you make your statement. Speak your truth to power. And there'll be people that it resonates with. It may impact some people. It may not impact some people. That's the way it goes. So instead of taking it personal, that more people didn't say, hey, why did this happen? Boogaloo, right? What the hell? Like, hey, I'm glad Matt Binder put out a video. I'm glad this person put out a video. I'm glad this person pushed back. I said it. But when I said it, for whatever reason, it didn't quite resonate the way it resonated when other people said it. At the end of the day, it's not about that. It's about speaking the truth to power. So that's what I'm going to continue to do. Someone's got to say it, and I'm that person. I'm that person to say it. And I'm going to continue saying it. And there you go. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue to say, I'm going to continue to speak up on issues that are important to me and to my community. And everybody don't have to agree with it. And that's cool too. Because not everybody's at the same place at the same time on the same wavelength. And there it is. You know what I'm saying? So, Sophia, I appreciate you calling up. You're operating on a different frequency on some of this stuff than some folks, and I appreciate that. Give that one more time. One more time. So look, a couple. Roger Meadows, New York said NYS should be 32. Florida should be 15. I don't know what NYS means. You can't use acronyms if you don't tell me what they are. Because I don't know what they are, Johnson. I used to hate that. I had a manager who used to get, and I'm like, I thought you knew that acronym. No, I don't know. But now I know what she meant. Like, I don't know what that means. But I think I know what you mean about, I think what he's talking about is minimum wage, where cost of living should be $32 an hour, and he's saying in Florida it should be $15 an hour in 2025. I guess that's what he means. Hey, man. Means testing, too. Tax us next year. Means testing. Yeah, give it up for that. Yeah, tax us next year, man. Like this. So they want to go on based on what people made last year. Well, last year we didn't have a pandemic. 2019, like he's talking about 2019 taxes, not 2020 taxes, because we haven't filed those yet. So if you look at what people made in 2019, that's a warped view of where people actually are financially now in 2021, right? So it's just some BS, man. Johnson's, it's some B to the S. Do they want us to starve, Johnson? Do they want people to get put off their homes? Is that what they're hoping that happens? Now, this is good. Okay, fine. Look, the snow. How many people saw this clip of the guy who shot two of his neighbors in, I think it's Scranton, Pennsylvania? Man. Now look, guys. White folks got to stop killing each other like this. What's going on, white folks? Jesus Christ. So violent. But no, man, that was this guy, I mean, look, snow gets you pissed off. Snow shouldn't get you that pissed off. Snow melts, Johnson. So the story is, he was having a running argument with his neighbors across the street. And obviously there's some pent-up aggression. There's been some bad blood for quite some time because where this guy was mentally, like, he was way beyond boiling point. The clip has been taken down a number of places. I did see it materialize again on YouTube because it was taken off YouTube because it's so graphic. My understanding is his neighbors across the street would putting their snow, using a snowblower or something, and put snow in his yard. He told them to stop. An argument begins. Then one of the neighbors threw something at him. I don't know what it was. So he goes in his house and gets his gun and comes back out and shoots them both. Then he goes back in the house. They're laying in the street. He gets his second gun, comes back out and finishes the job. The cops come, and they're looking at the people in the street dead, and then they hear a gunshot because then he commits suicide. The neighbors had a 15-year-old autistic son in the house who watched the whole thing go down, Johnson. So anyway, I watched that clip and I was like, this is one of the more horrific clips I've seen in 2021. Now, I've seen horrific clips. We've all seen horrific clips. This is the internet. But just the violent nature of it, and like, look, I know it was about more than snow. I mean, they taunted this guy. They said a lot of things to him that you should never say. In fact, there were things said that's just asking for, like, from where I come from, you don't keep calling someone a coward whose house is right there. Like, you keep calling someone, so I understand the people that are saying, man, these people are crazy. Why would they keep taunting this man like this? But he's not well adjusted either, because a person doesn't just go in the house and come kill somebody because of words and then take their own life as well. Like, so there's a lot of dysfunction. There's obviously probably a breaking point for both. And all I can say after watching that is, we need a stimulus check. Cut the stimulus checks. Blah, 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 blah. I don't want to hear all that blah, blah, blah. Bipartisan and work together and mountain on the hill and America could never been so divided and this is not what we are. No. Cut the check. People need money because we're not getting along well. People storming the Capitol. Cops still killing black people in the street. Now white people killing white people in the street. Cut the check. Cut it. Cut the check, man. That man should have been somewhere with his stimulus money in Florida, somewhere warm, getting a massage or doing some hot yoga or something. Anything to bring down the temperature, man. Goodness gracious. I mean, and it reminds me, man, do not taunt people, guys. Do not, look, it's okay to take the L. It's okay to take the L. It's okay to walk away. It's okay to say, you know what? Okay. Oh, I'm an asshole? Okay. Take care. That's fine. Take that and just go get in your car and go home. Take oh, really? I am? Because you don't know what they have. You don't know if they just broke up with their wife. You don't know if they just found out they have a terminal illness and they're like, oh, why, waste away 3 months in pain? Let me just get this over. But first, let me take you with me. You don't know what's going on with people. You have no idea. They could have had all their stock in GameStop stock, GameStonk, whatever, and then there you are calling them names, taunting them, calling them a coward. And they're like, you know what? Okay, I got something for you. So, look, guys, just recognize, and I've been saying this, I've been saying it, recognize that everybody is very stressed out. Today was my son Chase's 12th birthday. Give it up for Chase. He growing a little mustache. I'm like, what you doing growing a little mustache, man? And I just want to say that. But anyway, kids are stressed out. Even kids. Kids are used to doing stuff with kids. Used to going to school. They used to having a regular life, going outside and playing. No one's going outside and playing. The world it's gotten kind of normal, but realize it's not normal. None of this is normal. People drinking way too much. People smoking way too much. People not going out as much. Everything's up. Suicide's up. Domestic violence is up. Child abuse is up. Everything bad is up. Nothing good is up. Nothing good is up. So we need to move accordingly and act accordingly. So be a little kinder. Be a little bit more patient. And most of all, take the L's and walk away. If you get to live tomorrow, you won, Johnson. You get in an argument with somebody you don't know, or even somebody you do know, and nobody gets hurt, you won. That's a win in 2021. We got to have new rules, Johnson. Got to have new rules, baby. Come on now, Johnson. We got to have new rules. This ain't the 1990s. Come on, guys. This ain't the early 2000s. This is 2021. New rules, Johnson. So I just want to encourage all the Wolfpack to be here and to take care of themselves. Because this is crazy, Johnson. I ain't playing with y'all. This is crazy. What's going on now? No, this is not normal. This is not, look, just because we've adjusted to it, it's not normal. It's not normal to be in the house 23 hours. Like, it's not normal to do what we've been doing, to live the way we've been living. This is not normal to you. Like, you've been living your whole life as long as you've been here, not in this way. And now you have to live in this way, and the looming possibility of contracting a deadly pandemic that wipes you and your family out is ever present in the back of your mind. You are a human being. You are, even though you don't consciously think about it every day, because if you did, you wouldn't be able to function, it's still there in the recesses of your brain because you are an intelligent human being that can compartmentalize. So you're always thinking that. This stress is on you. Am I going to make enough money to stay indoors? Maybe I've lost loved ones. I couldn't even go to the... So, let's all... everybody try to be a little bit more patient with one another. Okay, let's try to be more patient. Let's just be more considerate. Walk away, be willing to take the L. Look, what somebody thinks of you don't matter. That's none of your damn business what somebody else thinks about you. That ain't your business. It ain't what they call you, it's what you answer to. And keep it moving. Keep it moving, man. These people are crazy. And they are stressed out. And they are looking for a reason. They're just walking around like, just give me a reason. Just give me a reason. They might not look like that, but inside, outside, they're like, hey. Inside, it's like, just give me a reason. Just give me a reason. I wish a mofo would. I wish they would. You don't know, man. Everybody doesn't display it. If everybody displayed how crazy they were or how on the edge they are, how close they are to exploding, no one would get exploded on anybody because no one's just suicidal like, ooh, let me push this guy. He looks like he just killed 3 people. Let me push him over the edge. It looks like he's at the end of his rope. Let me argue with him about the parking space. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell him what to do with his mask. How his mask shouldn't be over his nose. Hey, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Blah. You know what I'm saying? So everybody doesn't look like that. Some people hide. Some people are good at not expressing themselves that way. Right? Of maintaining it and putting off a facade. You know what I'm saying? It might not always be signs. So anyway, rest in peace to the folks in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Jesus. All right, guys, that's all I got. I got nothing but love for you. Sometimes I'm mean, but I'm always meaningful. This is the Tim Black Show. Become a member by going to patreon.com, TimSack Live. If you enjoyed this content, if you say, hey, I like this show, it's different. I don't always agree with him, but I don't think they're paying him. He's not getting paid to lie to me. As long as he's not lying to me, maybe I could deal with this. You know what I'm saying? He's not reading it off a teleprompter. Somebody told him to say it in order to keep a job. Maybe if we disagree, we disagree. Okay. Let me check him out. Let me keep checking him out. Here goes $5. Keep it going, Johnson. So become members of the show. Also want to say, Michael Rappaport kissed my ass. Just want to put that out there. Go to hell, Michael Rappaport. That's all. And that's it. All right, guys, I'm gone. I got a couple comments. We got a new member. MG Massey became a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack. Oh! Got a new member in the house. And sign of the times. Happy 12th birthday, Chase. That's my boy. That's my boy. Oh, man, let me see. I don't know. I don't know if I can do it, Johnson. Ugh. Let's see if we can do this real quick. Mrs. Black, I hope she don't get mad at me. It would help if I could spell. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. This is too cute. This is too cute. Did you post it? Gosh. Sorry, guys. Hang in there. Hang in there. I'm trying. Oh. It's so long ago. This is we're back to June. People are like, Tim, what are you doing? Maybe I won't find it. Maybe I won't be able to find it. That's unfortunate. That's bad. I can't find it. That's okay. That's okay, Johnson.
What?
That's okay. I give up. That picture's so tiny. I tried, Johnson. I'm sorry to hold everybody up. I wanted to find a video of my little guy, but it's not there. It's not where I thought it was. It's okay. Rookie mistake on my part. That's it, Johnson. I'll see you soon. Remember, Real Tim Black on Facebook and Twitter. And YouTube, you know, you're already there on YouTube right now. Tim Black. That's it. We're gone. Have a great weekend. I'll see you soon. Shout out to Andre and Kamali for their great editing work. I appreciate you guys. Shout out as well. Shout out to my moderators who help out to keep the chat, try to keep it civil. Thank you so much for doing what you do. I appreciate the hell out of you. And shout out to everybody who shares the show, as well as all the Patreons and supporters on Facebook and YouTube. Without you, there is no Wolfpack. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I'll see you soon. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Wolfpack. Johnsons. Bam.
Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't be fooled by corporate media talking heads misleading the people. Get your news and information from an entity that keeps it real. Tim Black. Tim Black is the host of The Tim Black Show. Independent news that leaves you informed, inspired, and sometimes entertained, but always
Thank you for
in the
using
know.
Blog Talk Radio.
Go to
Goodbye.
TimBlackTV.com and sign up today. The Tim Black Show is news for people who can't stand the news. See you there.
Let me ask you something. Do they know us? When I say they, I mean the talking heads on cable news. Do they know you? I mean, they talk about the world as if it's a sport. They play political games, report on our pain, rack our brain to feed the stock exchange, but do they know us? Do they know what we care about? Nope. They're too far away. They can't see us. They can't feel us. They can't relate to us. See, when you want to know what's going on in your world, Trust someone who lives in your world. Subscribe. We love you, Chase.